I can do anything. I can reach any goal today. I can do what I want. I can be what I want to be.
G'day everyone, welcome to the 24/7 team selection. Round 19 is upon us and we take on the arch rival Collingwood MCG Saturday afternoon. Andrew McKay alongside me and Macca. Doesn't get any bigger than Saturday afternoon MCG against the arch enemy that is Collingwood.
Yeah, it's fantastic to be up against our arch enemy, and obviously on a Saturday afternoon, which seems to be quite unusual in this day and age, but looking forward to the challenge.
Very much so, of course, playing for the Peter Mac Cup as well. Let's get straight into the team. Starting across the back line, Simon White, Sam Rowe and Michael Jamison. Have to talk about Jamo for a moment. Saw on Carlton FC TV, beautiful hanger he took at training yesterday over the back of Andrew Walker. Can you do that at the MCG on Saturday?
No, as long as he gets his fist out there and spoils a few balls, I'll be happy. So I'm sure Michael will be as well. But he's training well and he seems fit and happy, so things going well.
Let's go into the half-back line to take on the Magpies, starting with Dylan Buckley on the half-back flank. Cade Simpson on the opposite half-back flank, 26 possessions last week. And Zach Tui, Macca, is it a fair assessment that Zach maybe hasn't been as prolific the last couple of weeks as he was earlier in the season?
Probably not quite as influential. He was kicking a few goals, long goals earlier in the season, but in saying that, he's still playing some good quality football. He had a good year 2 years ago, and we've seen some of that form come back, so we just need to continue that form throughout the rest of the season. The
notable absentee from the defence is Chris Yarran. He's been omitted this week back to the VFL. What's the reasoning behind that?
Yeah, obviously people would have seen in the game last week that Chris probably didn't work as hard as we would have liked. We obviously set some standards, some expectations of all people on the field, and Chris didn't meet those. So he's going back to the Northern Blues. We're really keen for him to play well back there because he is a prodigious talent. We'd love him back in the team.
Is that the same with Jason Tutt and Troy Menzel, the other two ambitions for this week?
Yeah, certainly Troy, he's been out of form the last month or so. Needs a good run in the twos and get his confidence up and come back in the senior team before too long.
It just shows even that toward the end of the season, your spot in the side isn't guaranteed, and the Blues still going out there very much to get the 4 points and be as competitive as possible.
That's right. I mean, we're absolutely determined to be as competitive as we possibly can, and we need 100% effort 100% of the time. Now, it sounds like a terrible cliche, but a couple of those boys certainly haven't been giving that 100% of the time, so they need to get that effort up in the Northern Blues and fight their way back into the team.
Just shows if the 100% effort isn't there, you're not going to be in the senior side. Let's have a look at the midfielders who will no doubt give 100% against the likes of Swan, Adams, Sidebottom and Pendlebury, just to name a few. Ed Curnow, Sam Doherty and Andrew Corazzo. Ed Curnow is one that just gives so much run to this side. His possession isn't always 100% efficient, but you can't deny his want for the ball.
No, that's right, exactly. It gives us a contest, doesn't he? So, and he's honest, so that's all we can ask for. He's had a pretty good year, for his standards, so looking for him to finish off well.
The remainder of our midfield to take on the Magpies, Patrick Cripps. No wonder he's still the favourite for the NAB Rising Star. 20 possessions last week, #1 for tackles at the club this season. Matthew Cruiser in the ruck and Mark Murphy, we know the season that he's had. Big tasks for Cruz this week, taking on the likes of Witts and Brodie Grundy. Big opportunity for him just again to rediscover that form that he may have missed earlier in the season when he wasn't playing and continue to build basically toward 2016.
I think the fans and members would have been quite pleased over the last month or so. Matthew's been building slowly. Probably didn't have his best game last week, but he'll bounce back. He's a goer, Matthew Cruiser, so looking forward to seeing him go against the big boys at Collingwood.
Let's go into our half-forwards now to take on the Magpies again. It's Saturday afternoon at the MCG, and Blaine Boakhurst, 15 possessions and a goal last week. Tom Bell and Levi Casbolt at centre-half forward, 2 goals, 1 against North Melbourne last week. Let me ask you about Blaine Boakhurst. The 15 possessions and a goal last week, is that a reasonable output in your mind from a first-year player?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he probably had his best game last week. He's shown glimpses in certain games throughout the year, but it was probably a more consistent game for him. Still needs to put 4 quarters together. We don't think he had the whole 4 quarters, but certainly more of the game he was consistent in. So, I think it'd be great to get another few games in him before the end of the season. it'll all go well for the following years.
And our full forward line now to take on the Magpies, starting with Andreas Everett. 3 goals, 1 last week against the Roos. Good to see Andrew Walker back in the side. He was good in the VFL last week, and Lockie Henderson as well. Andrew Walker, we know that constant knee injury, but to show the form he did in the VFL last week, worthy of a senior recall.
Yeah, absolutely. He stood out in the Northern Blues game last week, so looking forward to get Andrew back. He gives us some dash. Up forward, he'll give us a bit of jump too, so looking forward. He might be the one that takes the hanger this week instead of Jammer at training.
I reckon he'd like that, Dave. Wouldn't mind being under Jammer. And just quickly on Andreas Everett as well, the 3 goals, 1. If you could get a trio of goals from him each week, you'd have to be happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose, from our point of view, it's not all about goals, but that we'll take them. But certainly, being able to put on defensive pressure in that forward line is real key to us, and we'll be looking for that from everyone this weekend.
And the interchange bench now, the final 4 in the team. Nick Holman back into the side. Clem Smith, Mark Wiley, his first game since round 14, and Cameron Wood as well. Still really enjoy watching Clem Smith, the zip and the pizzazz that he offers. Probably doesn't get as much as the ball as we'd like to see, but again, you just start to see those glimpses and you build toward next year or 2017 for when he can really hit his straps.
Yeah, that's right. He's certainly got a bit of bubble, Clem has, and we've got to remember it's his first year, so there's a big gap between any other grade of football in AFL, so he's going to take some time to adjust, and I'm sure he'll be a prolific ball winner once he finds his feet.
There'd be a better result for the Blues than to end the finals aspirations of Collingwood?
It'd be pretty sweet, wouldn't it? Certainly, it happens when you can't get in the finals yourself, but what you can do is actually upset a few teams along the way heading towards the end of the season.
It's nice to have a little bit of control here at Carlton, and let's see on Saturday if we can end the fortunes of the arch enemy. Gee, it'd be great if we could. Saturday afternoon, MCG, go Blues.